What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 266 of the Red and Real Show. 266? Yeah, I think I got it right today. All right, man. We kind of mellowing down now, kind of winding down after off of the high of winning another championship in the Dirty South. Oh boy, so what we got going on today? Well, LJ to the Falcons. Oh, we got this on continuing story that I just wish would die. Left Richard out in Tampa. The Clippers are clipped. What's Max Freed worth? I'm not even sure we're discussing all these topics. Anyway, the NFL divisional weekend is upon us. We're talking about what happened last week. The Chargers collapsed. Brandon Staley's issue. The Vikings, what's going on with them? What's the future of Tua? Has Geno grown into a dependable QB? We got playoff recap, playoff picks. It's NFL divisional weekend. We're going to throw in a little NBA, maybe a little baseball on the side. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get episode 266 started now. Lakers Hawks won last night. ATL show. Giving you real sports talk. Coach, you wrote it down on time? Because we're real sports athletes. We have real sports knowledge. Oh, okay. You supposed to write that down. So. Coach. And no Armani because it's his birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. 266. Come on, Coach.
Well, good morning, everyone. Fortunately, I gotta go back to the man won Super Bowl, and he four numbers. But had to be the only NFL. That's the old man number. Larry Little. Larry Little.
For who called it?
I heard. I was just so enthused about what I heard about last week. How you just knocked it out the park, and this week, okay. God bless you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you and grant you peace. Is my sincere and fervent prayer. How you doing, Red?
I'm doing all right. I'm gonna have to go on Wikipedia and look up Larry Little.
Surely I don't remember Larry Little playing in my lifetime, but hey, who knows?
What team? You say Dolphins coach?
The Dolphins.
Yes, sir. Under Dolphins.
You know, I should tell Coach that Larry Judson coached them maybe for I could have threw him in there. Because he played for the Dolphins too. Okay. I think that was the name, Coach Judson. You remember Larry Judson for the Dolphins coach? I think that was the first name.
Yeah.
All right, the fans were talking about they heard an echo cancellation. So I think hopefully we got the echo cancellation off. If there is the echo, it should be cut off now. All right. And the reason why the music was louder than normal because the echo cancellation was off. Make sure, gentlemen, you check your sound. Make sure you check your sound so the echo won't be there. Just check.
Am I good?
Check where it says audio. Make sure y'all have echo cancellation on.
We good.
Yeah, your audio coach is going in and out, just to let you know. So we're hearing like 5 words, then nevertheless. All right, let's see. Revenant Nation. Obviously, they're present today because they're talking a lot about our camera and all of that. I mean, our sound and all that stuff. But we're gonna welcome y'all anyway, just to make sure that you all know we're appreciative for you all being in the house. Good morning to you, Jerome Case. The VP has been given the command to slam the gavel from the president. Nick Saban, Junior Sports Talk, thanks for joining us for another
What
week.
up, Nick?
Glad to have you, man. VP, slam down the gavel. Glad to have you. Joe Black giving us what's up, love from YouTube. All right. Good morning to you, Sister Sylvia Harris.
I saw her at the Suns games this week.
Vincent Woodruff was giving us a little business. I love the effect. Sounds like a used car commercial, and we're dealing. Good morning to you, Miss Dana Brickus. The president is chiming in.
Dana.
Fishing for saber-toothed clams and Shannon Sharp sea bass with the grandma blue sweater. That's pretty cool. Vincent said we need to get the praise and worship team to do the intro. The music destroyed our eardrums today. All right. And I think we should be good. All right. Jerome K said Red has a bad connection. He needs to log off and return. He just did that. The president says y'all blew that money on graphics, sound engineering, not so much. We do a sound check before the show. Thank you, Jerome Case. But sometimes things change. The VP says sound is perfect now. We can't help the Mississippi Muskrats feedback. That's difficult. And Joe Black YouTube purgatory. So the fans are obviously paying attention. They're listening. So fellas, we must be on our P's and Q's on today, for they are ready to roast in high definition. Nevertheless, let's jump right on in, gentlemen. Dope, Nope, and Cope. There won't be too many sound effects today. As I shared, I'm in Atlanta, and I didn't bring all my equipment with me, so therefore some things may not be the same, but we'll try our best to do what needs to be done. Nevertheless, Coach, jump right in. What are you doping on, sir?
My dope moment is for one, Coco Gauff, who continues to impress as a young tennis player. She has moved into the 4th round of the Australian Open, and she has a good chance of winning.
All right. Red, what are you doping on?
Well, I'm sorry. I got to keep it recent. I can't help but to dope on my Lakers last night. And really, the whole picture, starting from Shannon Sharp getting in the Grizzlies' head, throwing them off their game, to all the way to Dennis Schroeder at the end, making that key steal. And we just stole the game from Memphis last night, ended their 12-game win streak, exposed them morons for the little weak, fake punks that they really are, and the Lakers got a much-needed win because, boy, we weren't looking too good this week, but thankfully, we ended the week on the right note. So, dope to the Lakers, dope to both of my NBA teams for looking good last night. Lakers, Hawks, dope. And I got more to say on it, but dope. Whew.
All right. I am doping on one Jacksonville Jaguars. Showing up and showing out, down 27 points to come back, get the victory over the Los Angeles Chargers 31-30. A lot of guts. Doug Peterson kept his crew intact, and Trevor Lawrence keeping his head in the game after throwing 4 picks in the first half. Gutsy performance. Jacksonville moves on, only to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs later on today. All right.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
All right, moving on. What are you noping on, Red?
You guys indulge me. One more double deuce. I'm noping on one Darius Miles and another dummy, Greg McKnight. Darius Miles, no, nothing needs to be explained right there. Greg McKnight, for those who don't know, that's the guy who made the stupid, ignorant comment when UGA suffered that tragedy earlier this week, saying that it was karma, saying that because of something we did during a football game that relates to 2 young people losing their lives. Dude, Greg McKnight, dude, you are a piece of crap. And I'm not going to waste any more time on you, but Greg McKnight, nope, you a piece of crap, buddy, for what you said and for what you represent. Darius Miles, both of you guys, nope.
All right. And I'm noping on Corey Dillon from the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm noping on you because you do not want that Shannon Sharp action. All right.
Get him, Real.
You might want to leave that alone, brother. That's old school beatdown right there. All right. You don't want none of that, brother. Shannon Sharp will let you see about what he'll do to you more than he'll talk about what he'll do to you. And he let everybody know from Memphis Grizzly land. He's like, you want some, come and get some, because you don't want some of this action right here. And when you talk about old school, it ain't nothing with weapons. It's all about them hands. And somebody was gonna catch them hands with Shannon Sharp, Corey Dillon. I'm telling you, that's not what you want, brother, because that's another situation. And just understand, no, you do not want to go tack for tack, taunt for taunt with Shannon Sharp. He's one of the best to ever do it. He used to get under people's skins in the NFL when he played in the NFL. Leave Uncle Shay alone. You don't want any of that action. Trust me.
It's too late, Real. Too late. And I'm glad they did it, because now I hope Shannon Sharp spend the rest of the season getting in their head, making comments on the show. I want this to last. Thank you, Shannon. A guy that I like going against a team that I hate. Get in their head, make little comments on the show, Shannon. That's right. We finna destroy this team now. Thank you, Shannon. Let's go.
The young man's name was Dylan Brooks.
Oh, Dylan Brooks.
That's right. Dylan Brooks, Real.
I'm talking about Corey Dillon from the Bengals. My bad. Dylan Brooks.
I was wondering.
Thank you. Thank you for the correction. Dylan Brooks. All right, what are you noping on, Mr. Corrector?
My note moment goes to one Ed Reed. Ed, I like you, but if you have a problem with something going on with your employers, you go talk to them instead of getting on social media and profanity-laced tirade and just going off. Go talk to them first and tell them what you want before you just get in there and just start going off for no reason at all. That was kind of unprofessional of a head coach, soon to be, if you're still going to be the head coach, Ed.
Okay. So Coach is not a fan of Ed Reed giving.
I'm a fan. I just don't like what he did.
Yeah, but I understand. I got you. You don't like his comments towards the HBCUs. I am coping on the fact for the 5th year in a row. Guess who we're not talking about in the NFL playoffs?
Matt Ryan.
Him and the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, the Falcons, yeah.
It's because of Matt Ryan's contract.
Yeah.
Why for the 5th year in a row we're not talking about the Atlanta Falcons? And
Rev's bad, man.
Unfortunately, we may not be talking about them until maybe another 2 years. So y'all listen to the good Reverend. When he says don't overpay for somebody, please do not overpay, because it will not pay off after a while. Last comment. Guess what? $30 million per year for the Falcons, for Matt Ryan, that the Falcons gave him. What did that equate to? 0 winning seasons.
0.
And 0 playoff wins. Listen to the Reverend. He knows what he's talking about.
You say.
Coach, what you coping on, man?
My coat moment is for the NCAA football coaches. Last time I checked, it seems like one Mr. Primetime is very real. For the past 2 years, he's stolen the best cornerbacks in the country to come to his team. NCAA coaches, you all might want to get on your P's and Q's, because Deion is a mouth, and he has the ability to convince players to come play for him, and a lot of y'all may lose big-time recruits to him. So NCAA, you better cope with Deion. He said he's gonna make Colorado great again. So watch out.
Let me ask you something. Are you happy that your team, USC Trojans, will no longer be in the Pac-12 to have to deal with the mouth of Deion, since y'all are going to the Big Ten?
We're gonna give him a nice going away present on September 30th.
I'm asking I'm asking you about the future, Coach. Are you glad that y'all don't have to deal with Dion?
I'm indifferent, but it was a lateral movement before he came, so I'm indifferent. It doesn't matter. We did this before he got there. We're not running from Dion. No. So, hey, this is already in place. We're going to take over the Big Ten.
Coach,
Would you prefer to play him though on an annual basis?
That's another way to look at it, Red.
Yeah, we can put schedule for future games. No problem. We make money makers. Oh yeah.
You think your defense gonna be ready for Coach Prime?
Think his offense gonna be defense gonna be ready for our offense?
Yeah, I think so. Eventually.
All right, Coach. Red, go ahead on.
But maybe not this year, Coach. Probably maybe a year or two when he get his team together. All right, let me go though. What I'm coping with? I'm gonna keep it with college. I'm coping with them cheapskates and them broke guys up in Florida, down in Florida. The Florida contingents not being able to pay that $13 million NIL deal for Jaden Rashada. Lord have mercy. You guys offer them all this money and can't pay? What's going on? Y'all ain't got no money down in Florida. You don't foreclosed on his buddy's NIL deal. Now, thankfully, you took away his letter and tip, but now he got to start all over again for one of the top high school recruits in this country. Thought he had 13 million coming, but I guess not, Jaden Rashada. In college, y'all gonna have to cope with these crazy NIL deals, and us fans gonna have to cope with them. Because Lord, man, these things are like endorsements. $13 million? Oh, Florida, pay your bills, man. Pay your bills in Florida.
Well, that's going to be a whole nother subject area because actually, from reading, it's not the schools that give the NIL deals. It's the alumni associations and booster clubs.
Them guys, they lacking in funds.
and that's going to be a real serious topic. Are players going to be able to sign deals with boosters? And if the boosters renege, then is that going to be the common practice that they release these guys? Now, it makes sense to release it because you don't want to hold somebody hostage and that be a bad recruiting going forward. If you give a NIL deal, renege on the NIL deal, and then try to hold somebody hostage. But there's going to have to be certain parameters in place because I don't know if the NCAA is in the business of just giving people their releases all the time based upon a NIL deal that went bad. So that's
going to eventually come to one case where somebody ain't going to want to let them go. So.
Yeah, and they're going to just sit out the whole year and then transfer when it's time for the portal to open up.
Yeah, I knew eventually this money was going to have some challenges with it.
For sure. Good morning to you, Mars Thrower. Let's see what the Rev Knight Nation is doping on as they.
What's up, Rev Knight Nation? We ready for y'all today?
Let's see. The VP is doping on Uncle Shay Shay and Janora T's father, making up and hugging it like men. So Sylvia Harris doping on the Lakers win over the Grizzlies.
That's
the
right.
VP is doping on Uncle Shay Shay's Granny Blue. We got a Laker Nation, baby. Dante Armstrong doping with the Hawks. I still don't like him, but 5-game win streak is a nice way to win me back.
Dante, I know what you're feeling, man, but I'm back on board too. They playing better now. I didn't like what we were seeing earlier either, Dante. But come on now, get back on board.
Nick Saban Jr. is a fan, same fan of Red. I'm really.
Oh my God! Come on, Nick. You joining Rails Club now? The bronze sexuals.
Sister Brickets is dope in all things. Shannon Sharp, the sweater, my favorite. Sounds like she got a little crush on Uncle Shay Shay. Joe Black doping on these Jaguars, overcoming 4 interceptions. Woo. Jacksonville feel like an NFL town. They'll feel like it after. Right now, after today, it'll be over.
Just don't start talking now.
I'm talking.
I can't wait till we get to the picks, boy.
Are you going to pick the Jags if you want to? Dope due to the Jags and Giants for their impressive playoff wins last weekend. The VP coping on nobody told Uncle Shay Shay that the granny blue sweater was a fashion. No stylist. Submit your resume to undisputedbluesweater.com. Vernon Ricks, Giants for the Super Bowl. And yeah, Vern, just keep it clean. Just keep it clean going forward. We don't do the language.
What's up, Mr. Ricks?
Well, we're glad to have you on the show, man. Thanks for tuning in. the VP doping on Uncle Shay Shay and Ja Morant. Didn't you already post that, man? Come on, VP.
Okay, Rain Man. He's talking twice now. Let's get him, y'all. He forgot he posted it.
Yeah, nobody wants that Shannon Sharp action. Sure, you're right. That
Right,
made
Nick.
Georgia too. You know your history. My bad, VP, for leading you in the wrong direction. Dylan Brooks, not Corey Dillon, wasn't expecting that smoke from good old country boy from the South. Uncle Shay Shay still looked like he could suit it up. He got the body to suit it up.
Yep.
You're right, Rev. Uncle Shay Shay's word game is still on point. Dope to Maya Moore, one of the best to ever do it in the WNBA, 90% winning percentage over high school, college, professional, Olympic career. She retired this past week. I saw Maya Moore. She played for Collins Hill High School in Gwinnett County. She won a state championship the same year.
Oh, she from here?
Yeah, she's from Gwinnett County.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been dumping her up, and she's from ATL right now. I'm really loving her now.
But she's from the suburban ATL, but yeah.
Hey, if Julia Roberts claimed ATL, you know Maya Moore gonna claim ATL.
Yeah, she won 3 state championships, 10th, 11th, 12th grade for Collins Hill. Won a state championship. We won.
I'm glad she's a local girl, though. I can claim her.
Yeah, she won one during the same year we won one at Mays. Coach don't know nothing about championships. He just knows about W's, regular season W's. Am I right about Coach? Sister Brick is moving on the New York Giants just because they're playing her Eagles today. Come on. Can we get a better note than that just because they're playing your team? Maurice throwing an open on Dylan Brooks' chances against Shannon Sharp for sure. The VP said Dylan Brooks, correction on that. I'm following Rev down the rabbit hole. I'm sorry I led you down that bad rabbit hole. Dante Armstrong says, I like Memphis, but they acting like they already top dogs. Even with GS struggling, I'd be okay with them talking mess over the Grizzlies.
Denver is the top dog in the West.
He said, I did like how that Ja Dad and Shannon Sharp did come together and talked about events. I think Undisputed might have put in a call to Uncle Shay Shay, clean this up before Monday, please. All right.
Good take, Real.
The Jaguars have a chance to make someone rich if they win the Super Bowl. Note Tom Brady throwing a significant amount of unprecedented passes. He was ready for the offseason cope. I'm a Sixers fan. Why are you coping on the Sixers? They doing well. They got one of the best records since the new year. What you talking about, man?
Jerome just be all over the place with his emotions.
I see that Matt Ryan is still receiving rent from someone's folks. Now he ain't receiving rent. He's just being talked about as a sports topic. Amen.
Yeah.
Agreed, Coach. Ed Reed, this may end before it gets started. His apology let me know that he may have been smoking on that icky in that cigar. He had a brain fart. Hope things get better down there. Let's do right, Lord. The president doping on Trevor Lawrence Waffle House celebration. Jerome Case has a question for you, Coach. Why the black coach got to be stealing players instead of being a good recruiter? Great recruiter.
Because he's already with Miami, and to get a player in Miami, that's a good steal right there. He the only one I said steal before. Calm down, honey bun.
Yeah, he was trying to get the race thing going, wasn't he, Coach? All right, Nopin on Ed Reed. If he remains head coach, you better have a winning record. Otherwise, it's a grand opening, grand closing. That's true.
That's right, the way you talk.
You did answer the question, VP. Got it in there. Nopin on the Dogs losing A.D. Mitchell. He went on to Texas. He made some big coaches. Yeah, A.D. Mitchell has some big catches this year for Georgia, has entered the transfer portal, and probably has something to do with the Bulldogs getting some real dogs to come in the transfer portal coming from Missouri and Mississippi State too.
Texas.
Big fact spread. You know Archie Manning's grandson is going to Texas, so he wants to catch some passes from little man. Coach answers questions with broken riddles. So he coming at you, Coach. Coach Prime is going to be a problem for the top program in recruiting. He'll take players from our program. He won't take many from Georgia unless they're B, and C players. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Coping on Dear PGA, looks like LIV ain't playing the radio major TV deal with the CW network. Even Michigan J Frog signed on as a spokesman. NLDS endorsements for sure. Now the kid is going to Colorado. I think AD can be big for Texas if he can stay healthy. That's true. Thomas is coping on. I did. Don't get to continue hate on LBJ. It's like that barber scene in Coming to America. Rocky Marciano. First thing Jordan folks throw up is 6 out of 6 finals. He's about to break one of the most hollow sports records. He can't catch a break. Is that throwing shots at you, Red? Even talking about 5 and 2?
I don't know if it's one of the most hollow sports records now, but it's a record. Yeah, he put too much of that.
Kobe broke his show would have been hollow. Jags won in spite of the Surfer Boy. That saga ends with the weekend against the Chiefs.
Okay,
tell it like it is, VP. Tell it like it is. The president's coping. I was about to put on my Wheat Street Fellowship basketball T-shirt and go to Dallas to Kicks. The touchdown. It got real bad for him. Coping on Darius Miles providing a gun using the murder. Yeah, that's terrible. Breaking news: Ed Reed is being forced out at Bethune-Cookman. Is that really true? All right. Thanks for breaking.
He ain't started yet.
All right, stay tuned on Ed Reed. We will. What do you think of Byron Leftwich getting fired? We'll talk about that. Stay with us for a little bit. Mr. Nick Saban Jr. and Rev, I'm a Sixers fan. They always break down near the end. I won't trust them until I see the confetti fall.
That's Atlanta fans all over.
Ed Reed is on IG Live talking about it. Okay, man. Keep us posted, VP. Coach AD has a son in Texas. That's right. That's the main reason why he went to Texas.
Okay.
I did hear that report. All right, gentlemen, let's move on, man. We got to move on. Shannon versus the Grizzlies. It went down at what's the name? The Crypto Center.
The Crypto Center.
The Crypto Center last night. We saw that Uncle Shay said, y'all don't want none of that smoke. And he was talking about, I bet you won't. So, Red, what were your thoughts about what went down with Uncle Shay versus the Memphis Grizzlies?
For a minute, I didn't even believe it. I thought it was just some kind of stage, thing. You know how they do. They stage these little things for attention and entertainment purposes. But once I looked more into it, I was like, man, this was serious. Shannon didn't look like he was playing. And then I saw all the little huddle up. Okay, I look like, okay, something is going on. Man, it was Shannon by himself. No entourage. Got it. I want everybody listening. No entourage. Him by himself, standing toe to toe with the Memphis Grizzlies team. Ja Morant, God, what's the guy named Dylan Brooks, whatever the other guys' name are who we don't care. I can't even remember all these little spoiled punks' name, but whatever. We'll learn them eventually. But the main one is the moron. The moron coming over there trying to take up for his boy Dylan Brooks. They both was about to get a 2-piece knuckle sandwich from Shannon Sharpe. And that fake Usher Raymond want to be, whatever his name is, Jan Morant. What kind of name is Jan for a man? You was about to get touched up, Jan, by Uncle Shay. That's right. You fake Usher Raymond, no Grammy winning sucker. Sit your butt down and stop living off your boy, man. Trying to get attention. You looking for a sitcom? You fake Usher Raymond want to be? You ain't getting no sitcom. If I see a sitcom on TV, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it's canceled, okay? So sit down and watch the game. You are not a celebrity, okay? Somebody tell Ja Morant, Dad, you are not a celebrity, okay? But anyway, I appreciate Shannon for exposing these little punks early because they're going to get exposed in the playoffs by Denver, hopefully. I don't even know. Maybe my Lakers will get in the playoffs and show the world what these punks made of. But anyway, appreciate that, Shannon. You made my night. The Lakers made my night by coming back and exposing these punks by winning. Dennis Schroeder knocked that 12-game winning streak out. Woo, boy. I'm so pumped up. Great win, Lakers. Good job, Shannon. We exposed these punks. I told y'all from the beginning, I'm not a Ja Morant fan. He is my new guy. LeBron about to retire. Durant on his last legs. I am going to take Ja Morant down. I'm going to expose that moron. The whole family. I'm coming for you, Ja. I'm coming for you, Memphis. You don't want none of Shannon smoke, and you don't want none of Red smoke either. So let's go, Shannon. Let's go, Lakers. We got a mission. Destroy the Memphis Grizzlies. Starting off good. Woo! I'm so pumped up, Ram.
Now, before Coach goes, I got to ask you something because we talked about it. Me and Coach talked about it before we started the show today. There was a name that you didn't mention
Who?
in the Lakers.
McQueen?
There was somebody who led the Lakers in scoring that you didn't mention last night.
Oh, Russ. Yeah, Russ had a good game. 26 points. Yeah. Oh, you know, wow, Russ come off the bench. I've been gave him his props for coming off the bench. What were y'all discussing that I wasn't gonna mention him?
We were just gonna see if you were gonna mention him during your commentary.
I'm thinking about the whole Shannon dust up. And what I knew was Dennis Schroeder that made the play at the end. But yeah, Russell had a good game. I think he had 26 points off the bench. So yeah, he had a good game.
I think he had 29.
Oh, 29. Okay. 29 points off the bench. He had a good game. Nothing bad to say about Russ last night. Now the two previous games I had.
Stop. That's what I told Coach. That's exactly what I told Coach you were gonna do. You were gonna talk about the previous games.
I did it until you brought it up. I'm saying. I don't even want to think about them two games because last night made me forget all about them two games. I'm so pumped up from last night that I ain't even thinking about them two games. Russell had a good game last night, 29 points off the bench. Good game, Russ. Good job, Lakers.
All right, go ahead, Coach. What you
got? Who made Shannon everybody's uncle? I didn't need to know that. Who made Shannon everybody's uncle? Uncle Shay. Now, all those Memphis Grizzlies and one Shannon Sharp. Now, the matchup I wanted to see never materialized. I wish it had. 7 foot, 270 pound Steven Adams against 6'4" or so, 260 pound Shannon Sharp. That's your matchup right there. The rest of the young puppies, they could have stayed to the side and made their comments. But Steven Adams and Shannon Sharp, that's BIP, pay-per-view, worth the price of admission fight right there. That would have been a good one. I want to see what Shannon would have done to Steven and what Steven would have done to Shannon. That's what a fight should have been. If anybody wanted to come get some, it's Steven Adams. But the rest of y'all, it'd have been like one of those wrestling handicap matches that Andre the Giant used to be in, 1 against 2, and he beat them down and go on about his business. So that's what I was looking for.
I got you. Uncle Shay did his thing, and he definitely shows he rides or dies with LeBron. And you could tell LeBron was happy about the stance that Uncle Shay took because he said, I ride with Shannon Sharp 365 days a year and 366 days a year when there's leap year. So he truly, I thought a lot of that loving on LeBron, defending LeBron on Undisputed was more like showmanship.
Yeah, that dude really love him.
He really proved that LeBron is his guy. And to be honest, that's why he didn't get removed from the LA sports arena. Because that's LeBron's guy.
You gotta respect that. He ride for him 100. Ain't just show that he really ride for him. And I respect that.
Yeah, he definitely does. Let's switch gears real quick, man, because this is breaking news. The VP was the first to break it. Ed Reed is out. They will not ratify the contract. Just checked it out, and the reports are all over Twitter, all over social media. Ed Reed is out as head coach of Bethune-Cookman. So, Coach, since you're a SWAC guy, and Bethune-Cookman just became SWAC, they left the MEAC conference to go over to the SWAC. What's your thoughts about Ed Reed? You made a comment about it. You noped about it. Now it's official. His contract will not be ratified. Your thoughts?
Well, basically, you're looking at a situation where Ed Reed wasn't even the coach. He didn't have a contract. And, like I said, him going through the profanity and all that was kind of unprofessional. But then again, that's who Ed Reed is, and he just wanted to bring attention to the fact that the conditions were substandard, everything was substandard, and I guess they expect him to do like Dion, come in and clean it up himself, spend his money, but he's not like Dion. Now with him gone, who do you go to next? Bethune. My point is, you should do a search from within. Get somebody that was on your staff and promote them. Because if you get in here and you try to get another celebrity coach, I don't know if it's going to work for you. Once they see those so-called conditions, I don't think it's going to work. So I say promote from within. Get your assistant coach, promote them to coach, and let's see what happens. Because for the last few years, Bethune has been his last or next to last in the SWAC. So we'll see, do they go to another celebrity football coach or a pro coach or just somebody that's on the staff?
Ray, your thoughts?
When it comes to Ed Reed, I don't think I'm really surprised how all of this turned out. When you listen to the comments that he made, I don't know if it was last week or I think it was last week. Anyway, when you listen to the tirade that he made online, it just goes to show you, man, like we were mentioning when we first brought it up about him going to the school. Ed Reed and Deion Sanders are two totally different people. They are both Hall of Fame NFL players. But as far as personality-wise, they are two totally different people. Now, Deion might have been the type to go down there, look at those conditions and say, hey, okay, let me find a solution. Let me go in my pocket. Let me do some of this stuff. Let me show Bethune-Cookman that I'm serious about turning this thing around. So I'm going to help. I'm going to clean this facilities up. I'm going to bring my people down here, and I'm going to fix this thing the best I can. That's probably Deion's personality because he's a charmer. He likes to bring people in. He's a people guy. Ed Reed, he might go in there, look at the situation, and be like, man, bump this. What's going on, man? I didn't sign up for this. This is ridiculous. Look at these conditions and whatnot. Ed is the type that he's going to speak up when he sees something wrong, where Deion might try to fix the situation or, not bring so much negative attention to the situation. That ain't Ed. If Ed don't like it, you're going to know Ed don't like it. He will speak up. And he's gonna tell you what he think. That has always been his thing. When he was in Baltimore, he was talking out with things he didn't like. Now he's a quiet presence, but when he don't like something, he gonna let you know. He gonna speak the truth. Okay, Deion is a charmer. He might try to sprinkle some dust on the truth. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to upset the cartel. Whereas Ed don't care. You know what I'm saying? Ed is gonna tell you exactly what he think. And I guess the Bethune-Cookman people, whether it's Vincent say he withdrew his name, some people said they decided to move on. Well, whoever decided, I don't think that type of situation is we're learning that Ed Reed is not the right guy for that type of situation. If you think Ed Reed is gonna do the Deion thing, come in, keep my mouth shut, clean the program up, turn it around with not much challenge it to it, probably not. So Rev, I think this is the best move for everybody because, like I say, Ed and Deion are two different people. If you thought Ed was gonna come down there and do the Deion thing, you're sorely mistaken. So it's probably, if Ed is gonna get into coaching, he probably needs to get in a more stable situation, a more professional situation, a more situation that's a little bit better. A situation where he doesn't have to come and actually fix everything himself, where he doesn't have to be the name to fix everything himself, something that's already established, because it's obviously he's not signing up for what Deion was signing up for in Jackson State. So I'm not surprised. Deion and Ed are two different people. If Bethune-Cookman thought they was going to get what Deion bought the Jackson State, you're sorely mistaken. And Coach said what route they should go. I'm not sure, Coach, I'm not sure if they should go the celebrity route. Probably do look for someone within, someone who's familiar with the situation, someone who's committed to the situation. So you need to find the one person that's committed to fixing Bethune-Cookman and hire them, someone who's familiar with the situation, somebody who probably went to the school. So probably look for the most famous alumni you got, or somebody who's committed to Bethune-Cookman and dedicated to fixing that program without much negativity in the public. Because Ed Reed, he ain't that type of guy. He's gonna tell you what he think about it. So I'm done, real.
Yeah. Go ahead, Coach.
I just want to ask you a question. I saw where Jerome said he realized he wouldn't win at Boston College, so he didn't take the job. Bethune-Cookman. And I just want to say, I ain't used this in a while, What? Why would he even consider have his name in the job for the job if he didn't think he was going to win? Why would he even apply for the job?
Well, let me try to take what Jerome might have been alluding to. So I'm a use a ministry analogy. Sometimes you don't know the ins and outs of something that you sign up for until you actually get there.
Right.
It's almost like I could use, like, you know, in ministry, churches seem real good in the interview. They say this, they say
From the
that,
outside looking in.
say what they want, what they don't want. And sometimes what they say is different than what you see. All right. We could even talk about this when it comes to relationships, where we can say all that we want, you know, but then once somebody actually commits to you, you see everything that's different than what they said they wanted, or so forth and so on. So I can imagine Ed Reed wanted the job, but once he actually probably got to Daytona and saw some things that were quite different, then he may have questioned, like, is this the right place for me? Because he's not the first person that's gone somewhere, you're excited, and then you're like, whoa, I might have signed up for something more than what I can handle. And I think Red was definitely on point in his take, where he was talking about, you know, Deion and Ed Reed being totally different when it comes to personalities. You got to realize Deion's faith comes into a lot of what he does. He views himself as a transformer. So Deion might look at it, the harder the situation, the more impactful I can be. Everybody's not wired like Deion. Plus, it takes a certain level of charisma to be able to do what Deion did. And Ed Reed does not have that type of charisma to rally the troops together. Therefore, I can understand why Red would say, hey, it's a ready-made situation that might be far better for a situation like Ed Reed. Because Ed Reed, let's just put it like this. Ed Reed does not have the people skills that Deion has. And therefore, you can see how Deion, just in his press conference in Jacksonville, as he mesmerized the black population, he mesmerized the Coloradians, where there were just maybe a sprinkle of black folk in the same environment. But because he has a way with words, he can fire up, light up any environment that he goes to. Ed Reed does not have it. He was probably went to Bethune-Cookman and said, you know, he probably looked at Bethune-Cookman probably in the same vein as it was in Coming to America when the landlord showed Akeem and Sydney that apartment complex. He was like, I ain't signed up for this. You know?
Real, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody fell out of steps when he was going through the dormitory. Hey, man, get out of here. I'm trying to show Ed Reed around. Probably some folk that was living in it.
Yeah, so
but Real,
yeah, go ahead.
To piggyback on what you're saying, I'm not disputing anything you said. Don't you think that Reed, if he didn't, should have done like they do with recruits? Should have gone there at first before even thinking about the job, seen the situation, and then decided, instead of just deciding to take it without seeing the situation?
There's some truth to that, but sometimes you don't know the nuts and bolts until you understand also the systems that are in place. Like, you could walk around and see this is messed up, that's messed up. You're like, all right, I can work around it. But then when you start learning what it would take to get some things changed. And let's be real, Ed Reed's money is not Deion's money, right? So Deion can look at something like, okay, I can work around this because I'll just pay for it myself. And they can't get upset if you use your own money because it ain't coming out the general budget. It ain't hurting nobody. So Deion probably was like, look, all right, this is a problem. He make a couple of phone calls. He look at his own money. I'm going to do this. Ed Reed might not be like, I ain't trying to fork up no million.
Because Ed Reed don't have this. Ed Reed don't have the side money that Dion got. Dion got his regular money plus his endorsement money. Ed Reed ain't got no endorsements. How many commercials you don't see Ed Reed on?
Yeah, well, he may do some stuff locally in Baltimore, even Miami, but he doesn't. He definitely doesn't have the national cachet as Prime. You know, Prime got major deals, and he got probably his net worth is probably way more than Ed Reed. So Ed Reed probably realized I may have taken more than I can chew because I see certain things, but now what it takes to be able to get this stuff cleaned up is too much for my bank account, too much for me to try to get some things done. And then the other thing that hurts him is this. Dion has set the bar for what success looks like from a former pro athlete to go to an HBCU. And that may be something that may have been too much for Ed Reed once he saw the situation. People are going to compare me to Dion's success. Not only his success on the field, but also his success off the field. And I don't have the resources like Dion to clean this stuff up.
Or the personality, or the cachet.
Now, when you say that, about seeing what the situation is, there's something I want to try to deal with now. For the past couple, I guess the past 2 or 3 years since I joined the show, it's the Red and Rev show featuring Coach. Shouldn't it be the Red, Rev, and Coach show? Let's stop right there. Let's go ahead and get that out the way right now so we can talk about it.
Well, when you redo the first 20, when you redo the first 25 episodes, let me know. or check this out. The name, you know how you buy into something? You put a price tag for the name change, we'll hear you. It's negotiable. So let us know what the contract looks like, and we'll talk.
I had to sneak that in.
How much is it worth it to you, Coach, for your name to be put on the show? That's what I'm asking.
Coach got some ego, Rev. I guess featuring Coach is not good enough for him. Next thing you know, he gonna want to star on the Walk of Fame.
Coach Prime told Ed on his IG Live that sometimes God is telling you that they need to walk away. Told him that if he needs him, he'll be on his first flight down there. Ed thanked him and declined. Ed then walked away in tears. I feel for those young men. And I think Ed Reed just learned a valuable lesson that you can be candid, but you got to be able to finesse certain things. And that's what I've had to learn. You know, I'm a very candid, straightforward person as a pastor, but when you're dealing with other people, you got to learn how to finesse certain things. And that's what he didn't do. He didn't finesse certain things. And that's why he's learned a valuable lesson that I'm sure will help him if he plans on doing, certain things as a coach. Because, one of the things Dion is going to have to do in Colorado, he can't talk always in the same way that he did at Jackson State. He's going to have to finesse certain things. He had a lot more power at Jackson State because the school needed his money to do certain things. Colorado's in another tax bracket, so just because he opens his mouth and says something don't mean it's going to get done. So Dion is going to have to finesse certain things as he may not have had to do in Jacksonville and Jackson State. And maybe Ed Reed just thought that he could be as candid as Dion was since it's just an HBCU, and they were just excited to have him as a coach, but he learned a valuable lesson. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Red.
Yeah, I think, hey, I've been in Ed Reed's shoes, so I go, what do you say, Coach? Just add a little something.
Coach, just add a little something to the collection plate and just give Red a platter of hot wings and some new hooker bomb.
Hey, I'll take that. But yeah, I think we all been in a situation. I know I had when we probably spoke a little too soon ahead of time and then realize, I may have to take a step back. I probably said a little more than I should at that present time without completely evaluating the whole situation. So I guess I kind of understand Ed a little bit in there, but yeah, it's probably gonna be some young kids hurt. But the thing is, I think they'll get over it because if he wasn't fully committed, real to it, it would have been a mistake for him to go in there because then folks would have lost a little respect had he went in and started the job and not finished. His best for him to realize now before he get deep into it that it probably wasn't a good idea.
It's a blessing in disguise, I think, for all parties. I think Ed Reed will avoid some level of complete embarrassment because I think it was only going to get worse.
Had he started out like 2-5 or 2-7, then he the type that probably would have just quit in the middle of the season, and that would have looked way bad.
I don't think he would have quit, but I think it just would have been bad because he would not have been short with his words. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, let's go on to halftime right here, and we'll pause right here for halftime of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We got some more stuff coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you all for you all's comments today. We thank you all for letting us break the Ed Reed firing. And thank you, VP, for being on top of that. This is halftime. We'll be coming right back for our NFL picks 5 for 5. And we have the rest. We'll be right. And we're back on the Red and Red Sports Show. And we just had a very good conversation about Ed Reed. There was some other comments. Jerome said Ed didn't get fired. Well, when they don't ratify your contract, that's another form of being fired before you get hired. All right. I thank Cole for the tip on the Ed Reed sag. I clicked over to check it out while the show was going on. As a journalist, I'm going to give props to my sources. Thank you, Kelly Kell. She'll come on at some point saying, hey, y'all. All right.
Kelly, take a break from your pedicure.
All right.
She knew Bethune going to be Jackson State, so she had to report that.
Yeah. And then I should have called Ed Reed before I married my first wife. I could have used the tips. All right, you open yourself up to a lot, Jerome, with those comments. Never mind.
For real, man.
Okay, it's halftime. That's funny. All right, man, let's move on. We got 5 for 5. Gentlemen, I moved some topics around just to let you know. So just understand 5 for 5 a little bit different. We got 5 good topics. All of them are dealing with football. We'll leave the Max Fried for another day since
That's
we
fine.
came in with Ed Reed. All right,
Let y'all give me the topics up. I just be ready for them.
this is where the panelists, Ed, I was going to say Ed Reed, Red, Ed, and Coach will talk for 1 minute. They have 45 seconds solo screen. Once that solo screen comes down to a group screen, they only have 15 seconds. Then we move on to the next person, and then we'll take the comments from Revenite Nation as they're talking, and we'll post them up, and we'll conclude that way. So our first topic for 5 for 5. Should Staley, the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, been fired after that debacle against the Jacksonville Jaguars last week? Red, you're on deck. Here it comes in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You got it. Clock started.
Yeah. All right. Should he have been fired? If Sean Payton was telling the Chargers brass that he wants the job, he should have been fired. I mean, you don't have one opportunity to get an offensive guru like Sean Payton and pair him with a QB prospect like Herbert, Justin Herbert. I forget his name sometimes. But and with the moves Staley's been making these past 2 years, all of these gambles doing games they should have won, they lost. Games they should have lost, they barely won. Look, I would have been done with Staley a long time ago. I don't like his coaching style. Dude is not going to win big. So if I know a coach is not going to win big, and I got a coach that I'm pretty sure I can win big with, that coach is out, and I'm bringing the other coach in. So if it was me, Rev, I probably would have made a change.
Coach, where are you?
Coach? Oh, my God.
Go ahead, Red. Finish out. Any more comments?
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I probably would have made it. I would have made a change. I mean, you got Justin Herbert. You got that hot QB prospect. We all know what Peyton did with Drew Brees in New Orleans. Coming from San Diego, ironically, Drew Brees wasn't thought of as a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Peyton turned Drew Brees into a first ballot Hall of Famer. What in the world do you think he can do with Justin Herbert? Staley is making no difference on Herbert's career. The stuff that Herbert doing now, that's just from his own God-given talent. Brandon Staley not making a difference in his kid's career. So San Diego, if you want Justin Herbert to go to the highest level possible, you better get an offensive guru like Sean Payton in there. But they already said Staley coming back next year. Now, who knows? Payton may already be higher by the time this year come around. So they may have lost out on their opportunity, Real, to take their team to another level.
Let's take this comment from Jerome K. Justin Herbert has been in coaching carousel purgatory on field for the kid. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with them. Staley didn't seem to be a great delegator, which is what most successful coaches are. If they had a chance to get Peyton in, move justified. All right. Well, I it's going to be interesting to see who they hire as the offensive coordinator, because I think the offensive coordinator got fired.
Yeah, they blame. That's who they fired. Should have fired him and Mr. Coach.
So we'll see what happens. All right, you're going to really love this topic, Red. Lamar to the Falcons. Your thoughts?
What have I not said about this? All right, y'all ready for a red rant? Well, here it comes. I am so sick of this stupid topic. I'm so sick of these dumb Falcon fans discussing this topic. I am fed up. You hear me? Fed up. He is not coming to Atlanta. For the last time, the Falcons are now using all of their much gained cap space that they just got from signing that other loser to a big contract that we just got rid of last year. And now you want to use our cap space for another mysterious, injury-prone loser that can't even get it done in Baltimore. You want to bring him here? How many rings has Lamar Jackson won? 0. How many playoff games has Lamar Jackson won? 0, maybe 1, if that. Look, Falcons have a quarterback on his rookie deal, Desmond Ridder, and he's going to be our quarterback for the next 2 seasons until he proves that he can't be our quarterback. And he ain't proved it yet. 4 games, he got better in each game. I want him to have a decent offseason. I want him to come back ready to take us to another level. We don't know what this kid can do yet, and I'm not about to disrespect him by bringing in some guy who ain't done nothing either. Leave Lamar Jackson in Baltimore where he belongs and let the Falcons move on with Desmond Ritter and fix this doggone defense. Our defense is atrocious. Our front seven is the worst in the NFL. And y'all talking about spending cap space on doggone Lamar Jackson when you got a young quarterback that's ready to learn, that's doing what he can to get better. No. Defense, defense, defense. I'm done, Real.
All right, you have spoken. Let's see what Reverend Knight Nation had to say. I'd rather take Randy Jackson to presidency. Alexis Hill said, yeah, absolutely. I would take a chance on. I know it's a risk, but you build the right team around him. You can't, in my opinion, you can't build a team around a quarterback.
That was a good one, Thomas.
You can't build a team around a quarterback that's injury prone. And
thank you, Rick.
It's not like you could just put Lamar Jackson behind any offensive line and just say go. You got to have certain players in place in order for Lamar Jackson to succeed. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes.
No.
You know, he's not that kind of quarterback. It has to be the right fit. And the Falcons have just gone through that type of situation with Matt Ryan, where you got to have the right players around it. And that's how around them. And that's how they got in salary cap purgatory. And they don't need to go out of it. They
good word, Real.
Dig themselves out rather than get themselves back in it and do that with Lamar Jackson. They right back where they were with Matt Ryan. Vincent, what you said, how about Freddie Jackson?
Why are you killing me, D. Jackson?
All right. Now here's a Jerome Case is making the case. Ritter is not the answer, and neither is Jackson.
Okay, well, your last part of your statement is right, but you can't be so sure about the first part because you only seen them play 4 games, Jerome. 4 games is not enough to say for sure that a QB is not the answer. How did Trevor Lawrence look after 4 games last year? How did Dak Prescott look after 4 games? How did Josh Allen look after? See, I'm so sick of this Pat Mahomes stuff because Pat Mahomes came in and was decent and great right away. You think every quarterback gonna do that? No, man. It needs more than 4 games. Mahomes is special, okay? He's a special QB, all right? It don't work like that with everybody. How was Joe Montana after 4 games? I can name great QB after great QB and ask everybody, how were they after 4 games? And I promise you, a lot of them didn't even look like Hall of Famers. So spare me all this where we've seen enough with Ritter. No, you have not. Not after 4 games. So shut up, delusional fan base, and just accept the fact that your QB is here and he's ready to go next year. He is ready to learn and he's ready to take us places. Forget Lamar Jackson. For the last time, I'd rather have Tito Jackson.
He said Trevor Lawrence is a Bentley and Ritter is a Chrysler.
Man, he gets some good ones on. I can't even lie. You get some good ones on me, Jerome Case, on the show. You don't never come like that on my page, but you get some good ones on me today. Okay. Well, hey, I'm going to stick with my Chrysler because my Chrysler can be upgraded. So may not be the Bentley, okay, but my Chrysler is decent, real. It ain't giving me no problems. It's in good condition.
Well, hey. we don't know yet because it hadn't been driven enough.
Yeah, that's right. I only drove it 4 times, man, so I don't really know what condition it's in. Hey, but real, I'm insured because I got Car Shield.
That's a good point. He needs a whole season, whole off season, full off season to make that decision. So we'll see what happens. Ritter, the jury's out on Ritter. Welcome back, Coach. Glad
just want to at least give him next year, y'all. If he sucks next year, do y'all honestly think I'm gonna be endorsed?
Move on to the next topic.
Okay. You're right, Real. My bad. You're right. Let's go.
All right, Coach, you were once lost, but now you're found. Glad to find you, man. Geno's growth. We're talking about Geno Smith in Seattle. What are your thoughts? We'll start with you, Coach, while we got you.
Geno had a good year, and I think this is what he's been pretty much waiting on to have a chance to show everybody that he can be a starting quarterback. And it looks like in the Seattle future, unless they go and draft and find somebody, he's their quarterback of the future because of just this season. So can he do it next year? He got a good running back. He got some good wideouts. So hey, he may be able to keep that job for a long time.
Brent.
Gino grew, exceeded in potential. Oh God, then I go trying to use SAT words. Gino grew this year. He had a good season, and I think Seattle will invest in him for the next 2 or 3 seasons because he proved what he can do. I think they're trying to rebuild their defense as the Falcons. So when they get that high pick, it's probably going to be a defensive guy. So yes, I think Gino grew to earn him a decent contract extension. Not no crazy max deal like Lamar Jackson looking for, but just a decent contract to take care of him, make him feel stable, make him feel wanted. And I think going forward, the Seattle Seahawks will be a decent, solid team with Gino leading the way.
All right, we don't have any Gino comments, but we got some more other comments from the last segment. Jerome Trevor, the Rolls-Royce body with the DW engine. I would never give him Bentley, Ritter, the Stat Pack, ready to be potentially upgraded for Hellcat Paris. Let's go. Red said I got car shield. The VP said, Coach has been rescued, Craig. We paid the ransom $1,000. Oh my God. The VP does have something on this topic. Gino Cook has been perfectly down for it. A ton of them, my 49ers taking them out and reminding them that they out in NFC West, younger brother, but mad respect seeing him grow. Tate said Gino has arrived. I wish him best. I wouldn't necessarily say arrived. We'll see what happens with Geno Smith now that teams have a year of film footage on him. That the true test to see if he has arrived to be next year. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Do the Vikings need a new QB after Kirk Cousins once again does not deliver on that big-time guaranteed contract? Red, your thoughts? Do they need a new QB?
Well, talking to Justin Jefferson this past week, I would say maybe. But the way they invested in him, they're not going to be able to get one no time soon. I mean, I don't know what their draft position is. All of the top QBs would be gone by the time they draft. They're probably going to go into next season with Kirk if they started, but they definitely need to have the successor. The successor needs to be on the roster going forward because eventually Jefferson's gonna get sick of Kirk, and they need to have somebody that you can replace Kirk with going forward and be ready to move on from Kirk after the season. I don't see him in Minnesota. Honestly, I don't see him in Minnesota past next season. Jefferson is a big-time receiver, and he gonna want a big-time quarterback. Now, if they don't hurry up and change things, Jefferson gonna be worn out too, and he gonna be one. You know where he gonna want to go, Real?
Where's that?
With you and your boy.
Philadelphia.
No, KC. Yeah.
Sign me up, baby. Sign me up.
I just saying, I'm hearing things that Jefferson and Mahomes they kind of friendly with each other. So
that's a good friend to have, that quarterback.
Yeah.
Right, so jump in there, Coach.
Kirk Cousins is a seriously good top 10 quarterback in the regular season. He top 10 quarterback regular season, but once them playoff lights get turned on, he falls in the way of such greats as Trent Dilfer, Stan Humphries, Tim Tebow. You know, I like my boy Tebow, but still. And he can't say his trademark phrase once the playoffs start. If we like this or not. No, Minnesota doesn't like you in the playoffs. So should they get another quarterback? Nah, not really, but they should try to upgrade their quarterback that they got right now and make him realize you got to play playoff football every game. Because like I said, Justin Jefferson shined in the regular season. Then all of a sudden, Kirk Cousins decided he couldn't throw the ball, and Jefferson was out there with his hands in the air like, what's going on? So.
All right, Coach. You know the mute button works for you too now. 1 minute.
Trent Dilfer, Coach, he did lead the Ravens to a ring. I'm sure Kirk
has an all-time APB out on him for stealing money for the Skins and the Vikes over the past year. They will continue to make Cousins something that he's not quality QB. It's amazing that he doesn't receive the just criticism that he deserves. Sound about right. All right. I can't deny most of that. The Vikings are okay as long as they play one year.
That's right.
All right, any closing comments on Kirk Cousins?
Vikings gonna close on them soon.
I agree. All right, last topic, hot topic. Coach, you're up. Leftwich out in Tampa Bay. Was he the scapegoat? What's your thoughts, Coach?
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, he was. Because when you got the elements that he was possessed with, how did they think they were going to win? Stephen A. called them what they are. An inferior team that made the playoffs. A 45-year-old quarterback. Leonard Fournette act like he was sick. A line that's missing about 3 out of 5 people. Your wide receiver core after Mike Evans consisting of Russell Gage, Quintarius Lopez-Jones, and no Rod Gronkowski. Yeah, Leftwich was made the scapegoat because they didn't have anything on offense. And now you're going to pick on him instead of saying, oh, look what we had to work with, and say, okay, we're going to try it again next year. Yeah, he's a scapegoat.
Brett, your fault.
Yeah, I mean, you got to agree with Coach. He definitely is taking a hit. Brady didn't have his best season. The offensive skill players didn't really show up this season. There was a lot of inconsistency going on. None of the players had their best season. If they weren't out there playing bad, then they were hurt, just not there at all. The offense was just not in sync the whole season. But we all know what Leftwich did 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. We all know what he did last year when they had one of the top offenses in the league. He was a top head coaching candidate last year, and now this year you saying he can't coach. It's a bunch of political BS, and it's sad to say that a brother is firing another brother, because it's obviously Todd Bowles' call, and he's firing Leftwich along with some other coaches. But definitely Leftwich is a scapegoat, and I honestly hope he get another chance to land on his feet with another team and get another offensive coordinator job, prove that he can run a decent offense, and then get another head coaching possibility. I just hope that him declining that Jacksonville job wasn't the end of his head coaching possibilities. But I'm afraid it might be with the way things work in the NFL.
All right. Let's see. I'm a true Bucks fan. I did not like that at all. Been so Leftwich had to pay for that tomfoolery of having all of his offensive weapons down or gone all season. Hope that Byron finds a great HC opportunity somewhere. He's proven that he's earned the opportunity. Lest we forget, he OC'd his team. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can give him credit. You don't give him really the credit he's due for winning the Super Bowl, but then when Tom Brady just collapses, then all of a sudden it's all his fault. That's ridiculous. Alexis Hill says, yes, he was the scapegoat, but I'm assuming they didn't want to fire Todd Bowles. Hopefully he will get another chance elsewhere.
They should have.
It's not necessarily the firing of Todd Bowles that needs to be addressed. It's Brady's age. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's be real about it. Come on now. Who has had that much success playing NFL football at age 45? He's not, he could do the TB12 method all he wants, but at some point, Father Time is going to get the best of TB12. It just happens. It is what it is. Hold on right quick, Coach.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins is a walkie Ponzi scheme. Just put that K in front of Kurt next time, Jerome. You'll be good. All right. Go ahead, Coach.
What I noticed, and I know you all have noticed, the head coaches aren't being fired, but all the coordinators are being fired. There's something wrong with that. Just like the offensive coordinator got fired for the Chargers. He put up 27 points. 27 points usually wins a game. So you're going to get mad at him when your defense didn't do crap and let Jacksonville back in the game? You fire Leftwich?
I got it. I think it's a lot of cheapskate owners going on here, Coach. I think a lot of these owners probably don't want to pay these coaches to not coach, and they probably had the coaches under contract. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking, and it'll probably be best to get rid of a coordinator. They feel like a move has to be made, and instead of firing the coach, and I still got to pay him his contract while he's fired, they probably say, "Well, get rid of one of your coordinators, and maybe we'll give you another chance." I mean, we've heard stories where it's been done like that. Now, it's times where they decide not to fire the coordinator, and then the head coach is fired too. Where they say, no, I'm not going to fire one of my coordinators, and then he gets fired. So,
well, to Red, your point, we got to go back to last month. There was a report that came out where NFL officials had informed the owners of the leagues, 32 franchises, that teams have spent $800 million on fired coaches and front office executives over the past 5 years. So that was a report back on December 18th last year. So that probably has gotten into the minds of some of these owners that you're firing guys and you're paying them and you're wasting your own money. Where you're talking about it's easier to fire somebody who's making 500, 600, 700,000 versus somebody who's on the hook for 3, 4, 5, 6 million. So that's probably a reason, and Red is pretty much on the money with that one. But also, I think they're case-by-case scenarios. For instance, do you really want to get rid of John Harbaugh in Baltimore? Or, as you can see from the tweet replies that Lamar Jackson has responded to, he could not stand the offensive coordinator. So in that, in that situation, you know,
somebody said that Greg Roman was his boy. I knew they didn't know what they were talking about.
He was happy Greg Roman got fired.
Okay, see, now that's good that he might be coming back. And you're right, firing Harbaugh would have been crazy.
Tampa will replace Brady with Steve DeBerg.
What's that old black quarterback that used to be with the Raiders all the time? He was in his 40s, I think. Vince Evans, wasn't that his name, Coach?
I think wasn't his last name Renfro? Something like that.
Oh, okay.
I know you're talking about, but
he was back when Art Shell was the coach.
Vince Evans?
Oh, it's Vince
Evans. Okay.
You're right, Red. All right, gentlemen, let's shift gears real quickly. We got 4 games to pick this week. I got to hurry up and get off this show because I'm going to see my alma mater play today since I'm in Atlanta. Morehouse versus Clark Atlanta, so I'm going off the show a little bit earlier. Red, you still in third place, man. You're still in third place.
I had a good week, though.
You had a great week. You can't get no better than what you did. So let's see where we are with the picks. We're through with 5 of 5, so let's get that off the screen. And now we're at NFL picks, and we'll see that Redrick had a very good day. Here we go. Let's see where we are with the picks. And Red went 6-0 last week, picked every playoff game. That still puts him in third place.
Wow.
111.
Game nothing.
67-2. Rev is still in first place, had 4-2 record, 115, 63-2. Coach got a game on Rev last week, 113, 63-2. We won't even talk about Amani. All right. So Coach is officially 2 games behind the Rev, and Red is 4 games behind the Rev. So this is where we are with the Pick'ems Classic. All right.
Okay, Rev. Well, whoever you pick, I'm the opposite.
That's cool. If that's what you want to do, feel free.
We're going to take them game by game.
All right. So remember now, before you all start gambling too much, we still officially have 3 weeks of picks. Now, granted, this week is the most that will be for you to gain ground. Then you got 2 games next week, and then we got the Super Bowl. So keep that in mind before you swing for the fences too early. All right. With that being said, let's get ready with some Pick'em music. At least Armani is above 500. We give him props for that. Vincent coming down the Rev and Coach down the stretch. Red Rhodes needs to adopt the tactic of choosing the opposite of those two in order to gain ground. So,
hey man, I went 6-0 last week, Vincent. Dog, give me some props.
All right, here we go. We got some Pick'em music. I will choose first, and I had to rearrange his Coach because I'm seeing Coach what he's doing when he puts the banners. He's putting certain games above, and we're trying to crescendo. We're trying to crescendo. See, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing. I had to get back to host mode to make sure that he's not diluting the process. He's on the spot trying to get back and putting certain games so that he can see what I'm picking.
Coach, you're not being sneaky, are you?
Yeah, you're being
I don't
sneaky.
understand the thoughts of collusion.
There we
I don't
go.
understand.
First game,
Right.
Jaguars versus the Chiefs. That's the first game being played today on Saturday. Giving my Chiefs to win by at least 10 points as they have the home game against the Jaguars. Patrick Mahomes will be one step closer to another date with an AFC Championship game. All right, Coach. It's on you, brother. Who you got?
Gotta go with the Chiefs because I can't fall, so I gotta go with the Chiefs. No
All
need
right, Red. Go ahead on there. Jump out there in the defense.
Well, I assume Coach is gonna jump out there because he was trying to catch up with you. But I can't jump out there, Rev. It's too early for the Chiefs to be eliminated right now. And Andy Reid coming off a bye week. Now the Jags are very capable. I wouldn't be surprised.
Now
And,
hold on. The VP is saying Jaguars will upset the Chiefs by a field goal. He smell it.
Smell it. Thomas. Ooh, man, it's tempting, man, because you know I'm a Jags guy. It's tempting. Yeah, look, I'm still cheer for my boys if they win today, but we talking about for picks. Man, I can't do it. I just know KC gonna be ready. Now look, Dave had a good year. I know KC gonna be ready for these boys. It's gonna be a close game, but see, it's gonna be the Chiefs winning by a field goal. At the end, I think it's gonna be a close game, fourth quarter, and I think the Chiefs just gonna make one more play than the Jags will. Jags a young up and coming team. It's good that they got to the division round, so they ain't had a bad season, and they gonna come back next year with championship aspirations. But you had a good year, Jags. I think it ends today, and I think Trevor Lawrence gets his first Saturday loss in his career. So I know Trevor Lawrence never loses on Saturday, but you playing my homeboy and the Chiefs at home after a bye week. I got to go with the Chiefs.
On to the next game. We got Chiefs. Chiefs, count on it. Give me the Jags over the Chiefs. Red, that curse still out there. You go with that foolish.
Case just hated, man. Yeah. You know why he picking the Jags.
He wants anybody over Mahomes because he feels I'm this cursor on the Chiefs.
I know where he's coming from.
All right. And just guess who we not picking on this week, Case? Matt Ryan.
We talking playoffs, man. Matt Ryan is never to be found. We talking playoffs, Jerome. Man, they made the playoffs in almost 10 years.
For sure. Coach, who you got? Giants versus Eagles. Dana Brickus is watching.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm about to go. I'm going to go. Ooh, man, this is one I want to pick an upset.
That's why you got him first.
He's still out there with that shoulder. Is struggling. They haven't mentioned anything in practice, but I'm going to go with the Eagles.
All right, VP says Eagles in an easy win.
Woo!
I don't know how easy that is. Red, who you got?
It's going to be easy because the Giants don't have no playmakers at the receiver position. Lord, they almost lost last week because the receiver dropped a key pass clutch in the game. If the Giants had some playmakers at that receiver position, it might be a different game. But I know the Eagles going to hone in on Saquon Barkley. They're not going to let him get off. And that defensive front going to be ready for Daniel Jones trying to run. So they're going to win mostly because of the defense, the physicality of the defense. They just not going to let the Giants offense get any kind of rhythm. I don't know how healthy Hurts is, but I think even 80% Hurts to be enough to beat the Giants. They might not even score that much. The Eagles might win 24-20 or 20-17. That's how little I think Hurts is going to be involved. I think it's going to be this defense just honing in on the Giants. And I think the Eagles win. I thought about the upset too, but I think the Eagles going to be ready. This is their first home playoff game. If any upsets are happening, it won't be between the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Yeah, Red, I was tempted to go with the upset right here because the question is how healthy is Jalen Hurts? That's the big. But then when I see how the Giants beat up a poor defense in Minnesota,
right,
and barely beat Minnesota,
right, with them,
then How
You know
can
how physical the Eagles defense is.
how can I see them beating the Eagles where the Eagles got a much better defense
Woo.
than the Vikings?
And they've been out for 1 week studying the Giants. They know what Saquon and Daniel Jones gonna do. They don't play them 2 times already. I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but number one, when the Giants have a lack of playmakers.
You want to make my pick for me?
Oh, go on, sorry.
You up there just telling me why I should pick the Eagles. So, all right, you just gave another point. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. So I'm going with the Eagles as well.
See, Miss Dana, I was the one to convince Red to come to your side. Y'all be in church
Well,
with them.
I was on there, but you kind of put the cherry on the Sunday. I was already there because I just can't trust Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones just seemed so Kirk Cousinish.
He does, and in fact, he gonna get paid too. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. On to the next game, Red. It's on you. Bills versus Bengals.
Okay, let me make this short and simple. Joe Burrow is gonna win. The Bills are gonna get eliminated, and all you Atlanta fans who thought you finna get a playoff game next weekend down at the Benz, you can forget that. Okay, that stadium is gonna be quiet, empty. It's gonna be a ghost town. Okay, until the Falcons do what they need to do to get in there. It is gonna be the Bengals and the Chiefs at KC next week. Ain't gonna be no Bills and Chiefs at the Benz. Okay, that Benz is gonna be shut down during playoff time because that is the norm in Atlanta. When playoffs come, the Falcons Stadium is quiet and a ghost town. So we ain't cranking it back up for no Bills and Chiefs next week. Okay, it is gonna be the Bengals. Joe Burrow knocking out the Bills. The Bills had a good season, but they ain't ready for Joe Cool. And it's going to be Joe Cool versus KC next week, and I'll be ready for it. So Bengals, Bengals, Bengals.
This is the toughest game for me to pick this week.
It really is.
Because Joe Burrow got that moxie, the playoff moxie. It's very tough for me, but it's that DeMar Hamlin factor. And they are the darlings of this playoff. And I did read that the Bengals offensive line is a little hurt, banged up.
Yep.
So with that being said, I'm going to go with the Bills to win New York.
Coach, you can take the Bengals. You ain't got to keep choosing the same teams.
The Bengals ain't beating the Bills. They not going to beat the Bills. I'm sorry. The Bills on a high. And if you think Josh Allen going to have that many turnovers this game, the Bengals defense is not as good as people put them out to be. Eli Apple is one toast away from giving up 2 or 3 touchdowns. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got to go with the Bills. Doggone it, you Rev.
Rev, you might have the championship sold up. Coach is picking the same team you picking.
I don't want to fall behind and give it to him.
Well, he's still got wiggle room because he's only 2 games behind with 3 left to go by next 2 weeks. So it's better to risk it maybe next week to go for the 2, where both of those games will be relatively close, and then you still got the Super Bowl that jump out there. Because if he lose 1 this week, give me a game, he got to win the rest of it.
All right, Coach, keep it close. But next week now, you're going to have to go out on the limb next week, Coach.
All right. He was smiling when he thought I was going Bengals. I ain't going down that Bengals.
Hey, Coach, maybe you can change some of them earlier picks. You want to change one? You can't change it now. Okay. Well, I guess they locked in.
He ain't changing with the Jaguars. He ain't changing. All right, last game is back on me.
If the Jaguars win, Coach.
I'm gonna post this comment from one of my members who I love dearly. She said this. Where she put it? I'm not worried about Rev anymore. Now, when the 49ers win this game, you better be worried about Rev next week. Because I'm telling you right now, my pick is going to have some sunshine on it next week. Trust me on that one. Because I don't see anybody in the NFC taking down the 49ers and that machine that they have, especially if Debo's healthy, especially if McCaffrey's healthy. Ain't nobody beating the 49ers. That's if they beat the Cowboys. So I got the 49ers. Who you got, Coach?
This is ridiculous. I got the 49ers because I don't think the Cowboys, they did what they did last week. Dakota Prescott, whatever his name is, he ain't going to have that good a game against the Niners. He played an inferior 9-18 or 8-9 team and won. He's not going to have that good a game this week. 49ers.
All right. Red, who you got?
What's up, Johnny? All right, well, I guess y'all, do we have like one of those wolf heads like on NFL Network when you go solo? Because I look like I'm about to go make the werewolf sound. Oh, yeah, I am going the Dallas Cowboys. I ain't picking no 49ers. Are you crazy? That's one of the Falcons' worst enemies. Okay, and look, I respect. They got a great team, physical. They are one of the best teams in the NFL, the 49ers. But I'm sorry, Dallas, they got a buzzsaw going. You don't beat a Tampa Bay team and then come out like they did last week and come out and lay your egg. They hot. They feeling themselves. This is it. This is the time, Dallas. If you can't do it now, y'all ain't gonna never do it. Jared just sell the team, break the team up. If they can't get it done now, Dak and the boys, that team you got built presently, they not gonna never get it done. This is it. This is the moment. You got to go to San Francisco and take this victory, Dallas. This is your time because you going next week to Eagles. Who knows what'll happen? We don't know how healthy Jalen Hurts is. Dallas has to take advantage of this moment. Cowboys, let's go. Let's go, Dallas. All you Cowboy fans, you better get pumped up because this is your moment. Don't let that rookie quarterback beat you. You get beat by a rookie quarterback, Dak, Dakota. Boy, you ain't going to never live that down. So it's now or never for the Cowboys, Rev and Coach. And I say it's now upset in the making. Let's go Dallas versus Philly next week. For all the marbles, Dallas versus Philly. That's what we've been waiting on. So let's go, Cowboys. Make it happen. Pull this upset. Leave the rookie QB behind. Leave Kyle behind. And let's go to Philly next week. Come on, Cowboys.
There's the real reason why he's choosing against the 49ers. He mentioned that man's name finally. He can't stand Kyle Shanahan for what he did to the Falcons by not bringing the Falcons victory to fruition during the Super Bowl. So that's the real reason all this passion that Red is speaking about because of his anti-Kyle Shanahan mentality. So let everybody understand he don't believe in the Cowboys that much. It's all about how much he can't stand Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. So please, ma'am, please, sir, understand there's not much a belief in the Cowboys. It's how much he hates Kyle Shanahan. All right? So
Did we tell you to psychoanalyze me?
I've been on the show long enough. And I know
All right.
everybody that does anything to hurt one of your teams, you have venom for them the rest of their sports career. All right, so I get it.
Let's go, Dakota. Y'all can't let Kyle win on Super Bowl.
All right, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how as we wind up this show?
Oh, man. I had a good one. I think I forgot it. So I just say the Hawks. You got the right to keep your winning streak going. 5 straight wins. You got 5 straight wins, and you got the Hornets tonight and the Bulls on Monday. So I want to see a 7-game win streak. Let's leave the past behind. Let's leave the drama with Coach Nate behind. Let's leave the front office transition behind. Okay. All of that is done. It's done. We don't have the beef with the coach. We don't have the transition. All right, now let's move on. Let's get the team back on track to making the playoffs. Is this season not over? We still got a chance to do something. I'm not believing in the East like that. Except for Boston. But the rest of these teams, you can catch them. You catch them on the right night, they can be beat. You can even beat Boston. But the Hawks, you have the right to keep winning and to keep winning consistently so we can possibly make another playoff run. All right, Hawks. Good job past 5 games. Let's keep it going tonight. Go Hawks.
Coach, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
49ers, you have the right to absolutely dump truck the Cowboys, or I may have to stay off media for about a month because I got about 5 Cowboy fans who waiting on this game. And if the 49ers beat them, they going to get off social media for a month.
All right. And
why, Coach? Because you gonna terrorize them
all day.
All right, I'm going to conclude this. Philadelphia Eagles, you have the right to win because I need folk to show up in church on tomorrow. So please make sure y'all take care of business against the New York Giants because I already know some folk ain't going to show up for some reason because I'm in Atlanta. I need some folk to show up to church, and we don't need to give them any more incentive not to show up on tomorrow. So Jalen Hurts, you have a right to take whatever you got to do to get well so that y'all can win this game. And some folks will show up at First Baptist Church Pass Down tomorrow in Coatesville. Be blessed.
Really thinking about that collection plate, ain't you?
Not to. That's part of the reason how I get paid.
All right. I'm with you, brother. You ain't got to spare me. Come on, y'all. Show up. Don't let Jalen Hurts keep y'all out of church. Hey, but Rev, I gotta say, brother, I really respect how you don't built up your service and the pastime church. I see it. I pay attention online on your Instagram and all your posts and stuff. I really respect what you done over there. Seems like y'all doing some big things. So props and respect and blessings to Rev and the First Passover Church. They doing big things, man. Y'all keep up with them.
I appreciate the kind words. You just butchered the name of the church. You're renaming the First Passover Church. It's the First Church of Pastime.
Pastime, sorry. Pastime, sir.
Much love to you, man. Thanks for your kind words.
Real, tell Dana she can sit at the front of the service. You got to sit in the back.
Y'all got Miss Dana in the back.
No, she's showing the phone up from hands. She like what you had to say right now.
Thank you, Miss Dana.
She just laughed at you calling that the First Baptist Church Pastor.
Miss Dana, don't let them put you in the back now. You need to be up in the front with your Eagle jersey on, sparkling. Make sure Rev can see you. I want you to blind Rev with that Eagle. Like, wow, Miss Dana, you blinded me with that green.
All right. Thank y'all so much for your kind words about today's show. Railroad trying to give Jay some heavy credit. Lots of heavy credit. Y'all have the right to turn down. You sound like the old man on the porch.
For real. Like John Witherspoon at House Party.
She's always up front in the evening. That is for sure. That's for sure. All right, everybody.
Rev, he sound like John Witherspoon at House Party.
Exactly. Old man looking out here. I'm going to call the police.
Hey, baby.
I gotta get ready to go, man. Go to our house against Friday night. Be blessed, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see y'all